Good afternoon, and thank you for tuning in to our noon edition of Arirang News. It's Memorial Day, June 6th here in Korea. I'm Song Yujin in Seoul. We begin with our coverage on the Memorial Day. President Lee Jae-myung called for a peaceful nation free from war as he paid his respects to the country's fallen soldiers and heroes. On Friday, Lee marked his first Memorial Day ceremony as president at Seoul National Cemetery, attended by over 4,000 people, including those merited for their service to the nation and bereaved families, along with senior government officials and members of the public. Upon the country's 70th Memorial Day, Lee commemorated those who fought for the nation's freedom from dictatorship, calling to build a Korea where democracy and prosperity bloom on solid foundations of peace. He pledged further support for veteran medical care and greater appreciation for those in uniform, including soldiers, police, and firefighters. But he did not mention North Korea or the Korean War during his Memorial Day speech. Moving on to politics, now the ruling party, the Democratic Party, passed contentious special investigation bills on Thursday during a plenary session of the National Assembly amid a boycott by the People Power Party. Our National Assembly correspondent Shin Ha-young reports.
Back in power after 3 years, the ruling Democratic Party of Korea, which holds a majority in the 22nd National Assembly, is now speeding up efforts to pass contentious bills previously vetoed by the former administration. The ruling party on Thursday unilaterally passed a special investigation bill into the death of a Marine during flood rescue operations in 2023, which had been passed by the Assembly 3 times but then vetoed by the Yoon Suk-yeol administration. Of the 198 votes cast, 194 lawmakers voted in favor, while 3 abstained amid a boycott by the People Power Party. The same day, the Assembly also passed a bill calling for a special investigation into former President Yoon's declaration of martial law last December and the related insurrection charges. A similar special prop bill had been previously passed twice, but was also vetoed.
A quick and thorough investigation under a special counsel is needed to hold those responsible accountable and prevent another coup attempt like the one on December 3rd. The public strongly supports the passage of the special counsel bill.
A bill calling for a special counsel probe into former First Lady Kim Gon-hee over allegations of election fraud involving political broker Myung Tae-gyun was also passed during Thursday's plenary session. The Assembly also approved a separate bill that gives the Justice Minister, alongside the Prosecutor General, the authority to directly request disciplinary action against prosecutors. Of the 202 votes cast, 185 lawmakers voted in favor, while 18 voted against it. Most lawmakers from the PPP boycotted the vote, criticizing the DP for pushing the bills through unilaterally without bipartisan support.
Today's bills don't reflect President Lee Jae-myung's first promise of unity. It's disappointing that the focus isn't on helping people's lives. This bill is just a revenge move. Punishing those who investigated President Lee by holding hearings to shame them and trying to impeach them is like attacking the justice system.
Meanwhile, ahead of Thursday's vote, Assembly Speaker Woo Won-sik said that as the Lee administration begins, respecting and cooperating with the parliament is essential for national unity and a successful government, urging the new government to keep this in mind. Shin Ha-young, Arirang News.
Now turning to international news, there are signs of easing trade tensions between the United States and China. The leaders of the two countries held a phone call on Thursday, the first since President Donald Trump took office in January. Now, President Trump described the conversation as, quote, positive. Our Park Gun-woo has more.
Expectations are growing for renewed trade talks between the U.S. and China following months of tensions. That comes after U.S. President Donald Trump said he held a phone call with Chinese President Xi Jinping on Thursday, his first since returning to the Oval Office. Trump described the 90-minute call as a very good talk, saying the main focus was on trade with positive outcomes.
We had a very good talk, and we've straightened out any complexity. We're in very good shape with China and the trade deal. We have a deal with China, as you know, but we were straightening out some of the points, having to do mostly with rare earth, magnets.
After the call, Trump posted on social media that follow-up talks will be arranged soon. involving Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. He also said that he has accepted an invitation from Beijing to visit China with the First Lady. Trump said he also invited Xi to the U.S., expressing hope that such a visit would take place. China's state media outlet Xinhua also confirmed the conversation, saying it was requested by the White House. It reported that Xi had requested Washington to remove negative measures against Beijing, to stick to the recent agreement made in Geneva. Xinhua also reported China's message to the U.S. to handle Taiwan with prudence, to avoid being dragged into a dangerous situation of conflict by Taiwan independent separatists. The report also said Trump expressed a welcoming stance toward Chinese students willing to study in the U.S., signaling a policy change. Park Gon-woo, Arirang News.
Now to the economy. The United States has once again placed South Korea on its monitoring list for foreign exchange practices. In its latest semi-annual report released Thursday, the U.S. Treasury Department cited South Korea's large bilateral trade surplus and also current account surplus as key reasons, the same criteria that brought the country back onto the list last November. In response, the Finance Ministry said it will maintain close communication with the Treasury Department to strengthen mutual understanding and trust in currency policy. The ministry also noted that ongoing consultations between the two governments on foreign exchange matters will continue with careful coordination. Moving on to sports, South Korea has officially clinched a spot at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, marking its 11th consecutive World Cup appearance. The Taeguk Warriors achieved this milestone with a 2-0 away victory over in Iraq in Basra on Thursday local time during their Group B match in the third round of Asian qualifiers. Now with this win, South Korea will surely finish at least second in the group, securing one of the 2 automatic qualification spots for the World Cup. The men's national football team will play its final qualifying match against Kuwait next Tuesday in Seoul. And that's all we have for our noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for staying with us. And Arirang News will be back at 6 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.